All right, Chris Miltenberg here. Just had two guys run 7:30 for 3,000. So what's going through your mind right now?
Man, that was awesome. I think, there's been a handful of times where even I've been really surprised, and I thought they could run 7:35, 7:34, and it just shows you how powerful working together and being teammates and pushing each other is, and that was really fun.
Did you know coming in this was going to be a collegiate record attempt, and had they talked to you guys about paces at all?
No, we talked to the opposite. It's like, okay, you guys, Ethan's had a great fall. Parker, as we've talked about, is on the way back up right now. We think both can run really well in January. Let's just go run a 3 right now to put a cap on the fall, hopefully get an NCAA time, and get out of here. We definitely were not coming in with that mentality. It was like, let's be under control and see how fast we can finish. And then they're 4:03 at the mile, and I was like, well, we're going to run. And so I'm really impressed with how they handled that in the second half.
Did you know what the splits were going to be, though? Did they give?
Yeah, they said the pacer was going to try to be 4:04 to 4:05, and truthfully, I was a little nervous about that. I did think, coming off of cross-country type training, cross-country type fitness, that you want to be a little bit slower at the mile and really wind it up at the end. And then they were 4:03 and handled it great and still closed in 54 and 2:25 for their last K. And so, yeah, that was big time.
Yeah. So Parker took the lead with maybe 500 to go, and it's those two guys on the last lap. Who do you think is going to win at that point?
Oh, man. I honestly, saying that, I really didn't know. I know how good both of these guys are. I think there's this idea from the outside looking in, like, oh, Ethan's got better closing speed. Parker can finish. I mean, he won the NCAA 5K by finishing. You see what he did last year, different points, and they both can close really well. And, I think it's a roll of the dice, and we could do it again right now, and it might come out different. They're both so good and go back and forth so well. The next time could go the other way too.
So what are the plans for them, event-wise, indoors? Have you mapped that out yet?
Yeah, well, they're both going to catch their breath for a little while right now. I think especially for, Ethan's had a great fall, really, really great consistency, and hopefully these guys are racing well into the summer and even towards World Championship time. So I want them to really catch their breath for a while right now. I think for Parker, this is great because the NCAA cross-country meet, he had a bumpy fall. He certainly left proud of his effort, but disappointed maybe about, I'm still only 7th. This gives him the peace of mind of, no, I'm really freaking good right now still. So he can go home and relax for a while.
Yeah.
Catch his breath, chill. We're going to go all the way into the summer, so I want them to chill for a while. We'll try to run a good 5K with Parker somewhere in late January, probably more like mid-February. Ethan will run a good mile. They're already over here talking trash about how fast we can run in the DMR, which that's all fun, but we want to chill for a while now immediately.
Okay. Did you give thought to having Parker run the 5K and try to get the standard tonight?
No, to be honest with you, because I didn't think he could do it. I really would have said, okay, we're going to run one hard 5 during indoors. We didn't get the standard last year. If we're going to do it this year, I think he needed more time, right? I very well might have been wrong. He probably could have done it tonight. But I'd rather have erred on that side. We said, let's get an NCAA 3K time out of the way. Go run 7:39. Just run that, and then let's train for a while. And I still feel good about that. Let's go run a really good 5 later on in indoors. And really, again, these guys are going to go late into the summer. I think we pride ourselves on, the guys running their best in May and June. You get really excited in January, February. May and June are what really matters. This year, it's August that really matters. So having a long-term mindset is the key.
Yeah. So people already knew about Parker because he's an NCAA champion. It's not like Ethan had been running badly. He was top 10 last week, but I feel like people maybe were like, okay, Parker's the guy and Ethan's with him. Now it's like, oh, they're right next to each other. Had you always viewed it that way, or did you get any sense of that?
We knew how good Ethan really is. They have different skill sets and they have different tool sets, and they complement each other really well. Really, the first 2 years, they didn't train together very much because they were on different ends of the strength spectrum, and Ethan has steadily just gotten stronger each year. And it's just a testament to his consistency and what he's done. He hasn't missed a day. It's layering weeks, months, seasons, years. But I believed he could get to this place for sure. If you look at even when coming out of high school, these guys were the COVID class, so you didn't really see what they were going to do senior year. We knew they could both be really, really good. They're different. And now they're at a place where they're training together more, but they're still different. They're still not doing everything together. They really meet in the middle really, really well. So,
when did they start training together more?
It's been a gradual implementation. I think about even their sophomore year, we were at the ACC meet, and Ethan beat Parker in the 3,000. They went 1-2. And they qualified for the NCAA meet, Parker in the 5, Ethan in the DMR. I remember I worked them out together the Tuesday after that on an aerobic workout, and I was so mad at myself afterwards because I'm like, they race together, but they don't line up perfectly in training yet, right? And honestly, Parker wore Ethan out that day, and so it's really been like a gradual move over the last 2.5, and there's still things they do separately now, you know, to make sure that each of them get what they need, and then they meet together in the middle of the best.
Who wins the reps in training?
Depends what we're doing. Depends what we're doing, and I think Parker will be the first to tell you he won an NCAA title last spring because Ethan nudged him every time we did acceleration work, finishing work. Ethan got him to where he could win the NCAA 5. And I remember telling him, I said, dude, you're working out with the best guy in the country at that skill, or one of the very best guys in the country. So it's no different than what you do in practice every day. Go do the same thing in the race. And there's no way Ethan is 8th in cross country, a 7:30 guy, without Parker nudging him on the strength work over the last couple of years. And so it's a really special thing. Like, there's nothing more powerful. You know, I had this with Sean and Grant at one point, seeing it again with these guys, and they're in the same class. Like, Sean was older than Grant. It's so powerful what guys can do when they get together like that, you know.
Yeah, so what can we, I mean, I guess it's crazy. They both run 7:30. Those are two of the faster American times ever, not just college kids. Like, does that set in at all? Like, have you thought about that?
No. Yeah, we looked. It's actually just off the American record. And but I also think, you know, you have to recalibrate nowadays too, right? Like, we're all running so fast between these great race situations, the shoe technology, all this stuff. It's like those guys ran fast because they love to compete. Like, they are like two little kids still, where that is the most fun part to them. Like, they are like two kids, hey, shoot the gun, let's go do the thing, right? They don't come in obsessed with times. That's how they did it, right? They did it just competing. And so we're going to stay true to that all the way through. It's like, make it about competing, and the times will take care of itself.
All right, 2025 is going to be a very fun season.
It will be.
Yeah, great job.